Alright, so in this problem, I have 4 to the power of x plus 4 to the power of x plus 3 is equal to 130. So to solve this, first off, if I have something in form a to the power of m times n, a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So 4 to the power of x plus 3, that's going to equal 4 to the power of x times 4 to the power of 3, which is equal to 130. And now, if I factor out 4 to the power of x, I get 4 to the power of x times 1 plus 4 to the power of 3 is equal to 130. And 4 to the power of 3, that's going to equal 64. So I have 4 to the power of x times 1 plus 64 is equal to 130. And 1 plus 64 is 65. So I have 4 to the power of x times 65 is equal to 130. And now if I divide both sides by 65, I get 4 to the power of x is equal to 2. And from here, to solve this, I'm going to first rewrite 4 as 2 squared. So I have 2 squared to the power of x is equal to 2. And if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So 2 to the power of 2x, that's going to equal 2 to the power of 2 times x, which is simply 2x, is equal to 2. And 2 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 1. Now, if I have something in form a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, this means that m is equal to n. So I get 2x is equal to 1. Now, if I divide both sides by 2, I get x is equal to 1/2. So now, to check, my original equation was 4 to the power of x plus 4 to the power of x plus 3 is equal to 130. So 4 to the power of x, well, 4 to the power of 1/2 is 2. So I have 4 to the power of 1/2 plus 4 to the power of 1/2 plus 3 is equal to 130. 4 to the power of 1/2 plus 3 is the same thing as 4 to the power of 5 over 2. Actually, sorry, this is supposed to be 7 over 2. And 4 to the power of 7 over 2 is 128. Sorry, 2 to the power of 128 is 130, and I get 130 is equal to 130. Alright, so in this problem, I have 2 to the power of 10 plus 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 2 to the power of x. So to solve this, I'm going to factor out 2 to the power of 10. So I get 2 to the power of 10 times 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 to the power of x. And 1 plus 1, that's equal to 2. So I get 2 to the power of 10 times 2 is equal to 2 to the power of x. And now if I divide both sides by 2, I get 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 2 to the power of x divided by 2. And 2 here, this is the same thing as 2 to the power of 1. If I have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So 2 to the power of 10, this is going to equal 2 to the power of x minus 1. And now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, this means that m is equal to n. So in this case, 10 is equal to x minus 1. Now if I add both sides, 1 on both sides, I get 11. Sorry, x is equal to 11. And now to check, my original equation was 2 to the power of 10 plus 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 2 to the power of x. x is 11, so I get 2 to the power of 10 plus 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 2 to the power of 11. And 2 to the power of 10 plus 2 to the power of 10, that is 2 to the power of 11. So this is right. Alright, so in this problem, I have 3 to the power of n minus 2 to the power of n is equal to 65. So to solve this, I'm going to first start by rewriting 3 to the power of n as 3 to the power of n to the power of 1. And I have minus 2 to the power of n to the power of 1 is equal to 65. And anything to the power of 1 is itself. So 3 to the power of n to the power of 1 is simply 3 to the power of n. Now, I'm going to rewrite 1 as 2 over 2. And 2 over 2, that's 1 again, so it's the same exact thing. And I'm going to do the same for 2 to the power of n. So now the reason I did that was because if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is the same thing as a to the power of m times n. So n times 2 over 2, that's the same thing as 3 to the power of n over 2 times 2. Or sorry, to the power of 2. And the same thing for this. Now I'm going to let 3 to the power of n over 2 equal a, and 2 to the power of n over 2 equal b. So now I have a squared minus b squared is equal to 65. And a squared minus b squared, that's the same thing as a plus b times a minus b. And 65 I can rewrite as 13 times 5. So I have a plus b times a minus b is equal to 13 times 5. And we can say that a plus b is equal to 13 and a minus b is equal to 5. So now I have a system of equations. And to do this, I'm going to cancel these two out, add a and a, so I get 2a is equal to 13 plus 5, which is 18, meaning a equals 9. And if a equals 9, I can go ahead and plug in back to this one of these equations. I'm going to do here, so I get 9 minus b is equal to 5, meaning b is equal to 4. So a equals 9 and b equals 4. Now remember how we let a equal 3 to the power of n over 2. So 3 to the power of n over 2 equals 9, meaning n is equal to 4. And 2 to the power of n over 2 is equal to 4, meaning, again, n is equal to 4. So this is my solution.